With the release of Dragon Ball Super Manga Volume 24 in Japan, we finally got new word from Toyotaro about the future of Dragon Ball Super, as well as some new information about what the story is behind the special one-shot chapter, and some new drawings of Beast Gohan, which goes back to the video that kind of made my channel blow up, which was whenever Toyotaro forgot to draw the pupils of Beast Gohan. We'll get into all of that, starting with, of course, Toyotaro's comments. This is going to be translated from Herms98 on Twitter. I'll go ahead and link him in the description. The quote reads as follows: "The secret story behind the birth of Saiyaman X that I got to draw for the end of this volume was based on text written by Toriyama sensei, which I revised and made into a manga. During the process of working out the Saiyaman X story that serves as a prequel to the superhero arc, he gave me this story as a prologue, saying it doesn't really matter whether you use this in the main story or not, but I felt it would be such a waste to cut it, so I really wanted to make it into a manga. However, the superhero arc's prequel was fixed at 3 chapters, which was of course 88 through 90, so I cried and resigned myself to drawing 3 chapters set after Trunks and Goten had become Saiyaman X. However, as the superhero arc drew to a close, this was still a story I wanted to draw no matter what, so they were nice enough to let me have my own way, and I got to draw it as a one-shot. Thank you so much for reading it, and now the superhero arc is finished. Look forward to future developments." So there was also another quote that he gave, but let's break this quote down real quick. Of course, he's saying that Toriyama originally wrote the script for this chapter, and then of course they didn't have room to fit it in the prequel arc to the superhero arc, so what they went ahead and did was basically skipped it. However, I think basically what happened was Shueisha wanted to release Dragon Ball Super Volume 24, but they did not have the content to do it, so they basically asked Toyotaro to write one more chapter, and Toyotaro decided to use the unused script that he plotted with Toriyama. And then of course Toyotaro actually revised it and made it into something a bit more special, I guess you could say. And the biggest information that we got from this little bit of news is that Toyotaro says look forward to future developments. And in case you guys weren't aware, in my previous video we talked about how Dragon Ball Super is not ending. They basically confirmed it's still continuing because the side illustration is still continuing. So again, just a little more information at the end of this quote where Toyotaro says look forward to future developments really makes it clear that Toriyama, even though he's gone, Dragon Ball is not going away anytime soon. Dragon Ball Super will be continuing, and Toyotaro is definitely the sole creator. Well, maybe the editorial team at Shueisha as well, but Toyotaro is definitely the guy for now. And here we have a little bit more information. Again, another quote from Toyotaro, coming again from Herms98 on Twitter. His translations are usually spot on, so we always go with Herms98 on this channel. He says, "Whenever I received corrections from Toriyama sensei, rather than, 'This is how Dragon Ball should be,' they were much more often, 'This is how manga should be.' In the end, he was a manga artist rather than simply the original author. I will never forget the approach to manga which sensei taught me and continue to do my best." Now, this is a big quote because a lot of people complain about how Toyotaro's art is kind of Dragon Ball, but over the years it's kind of deviated even more from Toriyama's style. It looks like Toriyama specifically recommended Toyotaro experiment a bit more with his style. Keeps it Dragon Ball somewhat, but finds his own style along the way. I definitely support Toyotaro in this, and I think his style is pretty good. Now, one other thing before we talk about the Beast Gohan stuff, Toyotaro actually made one final tribute illustration for Toriyama, and on the illustration it reads, "Toriyama's World Forever." And of course you have Goku there. A lot of these drawings were actually reused from previous Toyotaro artworks, and then some of them are actually brand new. Overall, I think it's a beautiful piece, and actually really shows you how much manga Toriyama created besides Dragon Ball. Alright, now that all the big news is out of the way, let's get into something that I think will harken back to my channel, specifically the video that I actually had my first video get over 100,000, and this video was actually the one that shot my subscribers up past 1,000, and I credit that video for basically starting my channel in this new era. And it was the video where Toyotaro apologized for the Gohan Beast backlash whenever they messed up the pupils. So Toyotaro in Dragon Ball Super Chapter 102 forgot to draw Gohan's pupils. It was a big thing at the time because he basically made a statement saying, I forgot to draw them, I'm sorry. And a lot of people were like, well, you didn't have to like basically apologize for it publicly, but you did, so we appreciate that. And that's why I made the video on it. I was like, wow, this is interesting. Toyotaro's just owning it. And even more than that, he went back and redrew the whole chapter. Not like literally redrew the whole chapter, but he added pupils. And it looks like he actually redrew Gohan on the page where his aura basically shoots back and Goku is like a little shocked, Vegeta's a little shocked, Beast Gohan is awakened. Now originally I didn't have a problem with Beast Gohan as he appeared on that page. He looks pretty cool and threatening and menacing and freaking amazing, but you can see that his hair is a little bit smaller than it should be, the pupils and his eyes are not there, things like that. So Toyotaro touched it up, made the bang longer, made the hair longer, added more muscles to him. He looks even more threatening, and some people were thinking, why would Toyotaro take the time to draw this? Keep in mind, he hasn't been drawing Dragon Ball Super in a while, so I would say he was just like, you know what, I have all this free time, I'm not going to sit on my hands all day, I'm just going to go ahead and redraw Gohan as he appears in this chapter, basically touch it up, make it a bit more accurate to what the movie presented, and also put my own spin on it, which he did. Anyways, guys, that will be it for this video. I know it was a bit of a more simple, straightforward news video today, just going ahead and talking about one news story. Normally, I like to stretch it out, let the news build up, and then make one weekly news video, but this one was substantial. I felt like I had to make a video entirely on it, because we got a lot of information from Toyotaro, some behind-the-scenes information, and of course Toyotaro teasing the future of Dragon Ball Super, saying, please look forward to future developments. That's amazing. I love that. I love to hear it. Now we just need an announcement. Please just tell us, give us a release date or something. Anyways, guys, that will be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Dragon Ball news and commentary. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace off.